I received the honor of being named as an Outstanding Scout in 1999. Friends, that was 15 years ago. Allow me to briefly remind us all about the state of life at that time. We lived our lives without Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, no Snapchat, no Viber. We wrote our class presentations in endless sheets of manila paper using pen markers, no PowerPoints, no keynotes. Having a crush on someone means writing love letters on paper planes, no WhatsApp, no text messages. And we really sat on dinner tables to talk and sometimes get scolded by our parents. And it was a very different but equally good kind of life. That was 15 years ago. Allow me to share with you what this giggly, loud, and wide-eyed guy from Lucena City learned 15 years ago from being an outstanding scout that allowed him the humbling privilege of speaking in front of you today. First, to be an outstanding scout is to set a very high standard for yourself. When I faced Ma'am Sharo Santos as a new hire by Star Cinema, she did not ask about my double bachelor's degree from the Ateneo. Instead, she asked more about what it means to be an outstanding scout. Years later, when I grew from being a creative assistant to an associate producer, I asked her in a casual conversation why she was very interested about that fact that I was called an outstanding scout. And she said, Chino, Ateneo produces thousands of graduates every year, but outstanding scouts, every year, there are just 10. A few years ago, my team made a mistake of using an American song in the trailer of one of the films I produced based on a verbal agreement on cost. The music publisher changed the cost, and since I released the trailer on television and there was no written contract, Star Cinema was being forced to pay the new fee or get sued. It wasn't my fault at all, and I seriously thought of quitting. But during that time, and up to now that I'm living in Singapore, that trophy with #1 sits beside my table. And during that time, when this crisis was happening in Star Cinema, I saw my trophy and I realized, oh boy, outstanding scouts don't quit. We just don't quit. We live for these moments of big challenges because this allows us to show what we are truly made of. It was that high personal standard set from being an outstanding scout that pointed me to the right solution. Work hard, so hard. Make the people love that movie. Go miles beyond profit point and pay the debt. How much budget do I have? I was working on a budget of 17 million at the time when a good film like One More Chance was produced for 25. The gross profit point that would make Star Cinema happy, 60 million pesos. But because of the high standards an outstanding scout sets and combined with the hard work of the team, we raked in 107 million in gross profits in 4 weeks. Second, to be an outstanding scout is to see the world in a wider perspective. Personally, this means having a voice on issues that matter and always supporting a cause. So tuwing makikita kami ng mga outstanding scouts, former winners, like kami ng videoan, ilang volumes ng community service ang sinabmit mo? Sasagot kami, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. But among ourselves, as years went by, we knew that those volumes of proof do not really matter. Instead, it is the habit of making a commitment to bring about change that ultimately weighs more. Dahil ang outstanding scout ay may pakialam sa kapwa at komunidad. I now lead the Social Engagement Center for Coca-Cola in Singapore and Malaysia as part of my regional job in Ubuldi and Mayfair. And I hope, sir, Adele, to include the Philippines under my care in the future. Let's talk about business. Coca-Cola is a very big company with enough influence and resources to change perceptions. However, Any company is only as good as the people it has. And by taking the perspective that we can bring about positive change even through our daily work, makes us people who transform companies that transform the world. And hopefully this piece of work that our team in Singapore did is a good example of that.
I think especially I student, everything, my heart, right. I can know enjoy part of that. All the group everything, I know that I guess my academy.
A lot of people that we approach were actually very pleased to hear about this initiative, and I think it shows that Singaporeans do actually care for the foreign workers in our midst.
Thank you for helping us build our building. I see last time I see helicopter. It's a very nice. Thank you for hard work. In here, I think more than 2,000 plus workers. So everybody getting to work. We are very happy because we thinking still somebody think about us.
What we try to do is not to sell Coca-Cola. What we try to do is to make people love Coca-Cola by working in it. Because as a brand, it does not only represent a red can. For someone who's working like that, it represents happiness. And it's all about pushing our thinking from just how much will I earn to how much will I earn and how could my work bring about a positive change. When my boss told me, when I learned that we won the account for Coke, I fought for it. It should not be my account. But I said, I wanted to do Coke. And she asked, why do you want to work for Coke? And I told her, I don't want to work for Coke. I want to work with Coke. Because I wanted to honor the partnership that was sealed in me years ago when they helped fund my education at the So maraming salamat, Boy Scouts of the Philippines, sa pagtitiwala sa kakayahan ng kabataan Pilipino. Marami pong salamat, Coca-Cola Far East, sa pagiging katuwang sa paglikha ng susunod na panahubog ng ating bansa at mundo. And I hope that you recognize the investment you made in me years ago as a very worthy investment. At maraming salamat, 10 outstanding Boy Scouts of the Philippines Association sa patuloy na paghamon sa mga outstanding scouts na panindigan ang pagiging outstanding. May all of us, outstanding scouts, by title or not, set a high standard for ourselves and commit to bringing about the change that this world desperately needs. To our leaders, friends, fellow scouts, aking mga kapamilya, ako po si Chino Ramos. Magandang araw po.